Hello and welcome to DrupalDude.com. I'm going to show you how categories or the taxonomy works in Drupal. I have here a page that has the Chevrolet, Toyota, and Ford Mustang. Wouldn't it be nice if I could categorize those? So put all the Toyotas together, put all the Chevrolets together, and put all the Fords together. Well, you can do that using, using the taxonomy. Essentially what we do is go to Administer, and we go to Content Management, and you'll see Categories. Categories is another term for taxonomy. It uses a taxonomy module, which is on by default, and Drupal kind of renamed it to Categories in Drupal 5. If I recall right, Drupal 4 and prior, they called this taxonomy. Anyway, so let's just call it Categories from now on. What we have is we have a category. What I want to do is I want to add a vocabulary, which is the parent, called cars. So we'll go to categories here and we're going to add a vocabulary. This one's called, and you can have as many vocabularies as you want. Next thing I have to do is which content type am I going to use this for? I'm going to use this for my story. And we'll just go submit from that point on. So now what we have here is we have a vocabulary called cars, which is going to list all of my brands. So now we have to add the terms, and I have an article on Toyota. I have an article on Chevrolet. And I have an article on Ford Mustang. Okay, now if I go to list here, you'll see for cars, here are my three terms. So now what I've basically done is I've set up a very basic category system. What you could do is if I go to categories here, you can add more terminology, like I have two of them on hybrids and two of them on non-hybrid. So I could call another category vocabulary called type, and then the terms would be hybrid and non-hybrid if I wanted to. So here, go back here to home, and we'll go Chevrolet Corvette, and you'll see here I have a new option here, the category. So I'm going to say this is Chevrolet, hit submit. We'll go back home here and we'll just apply these categories. This one is Toyota, submit, back home, and it's Toyota, hit submit. And we got one more, the Ford Mustang. This is a Ford. And we hit submit. Now when I go back home here, what you'll see here is on the right, and this all depends on your theme where it lists these categories. This default theme lists them over here to the right, to the right. We have Chevrolet, Toyota, and Ford. If I were to add a new story, I can choose which one it goes to. So go back home here. If I click on Toyota, it pulls up both articles in the Toyota. If I go home here and click on Chevrolet, because I only have one article, it's only going to pull up the one article on Chevrolet. So there's a very simple how you can set up categories in Drupal. If you needed to add more terms, now let's say I added Chrysler or something along that line, what I would do is I would go to Administer and Categories, and I would add another term to it called Chevrolet, or Chrysler or something along that line, Ferrari, whatever I want it to be, and it would be in that drop-down list when I add new articles. That's categories, or quote-unquote taxonomy in Drupal. Very basic, but you can kind of see how it all works. In future posts I'll get into a little bit more of how you can automatically change the terms in posts without having to go into the category, and there's some other options that you can do with it too. But I just wanted to give a basic overview. A lot of people get confused over it, so I thought to try to simplify it a little bit. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on DrupalDude.com.